Citadelle Des Morts has finally arrived, and with it we have 4 new wonder weapon swords. The first thing you'll need to do is open up the map, head down to the dungeon and open up Pack-a-Punch by shooting these 3 locks on this container. A doppelgas will jump out the container, eliminate it, pick up this blood ethereum crystal and interact to insert it. Head to the basement and speak to Craft just behind this wooden door, which can be done by interacting with it. Once the dialogue is finished, you'll see an elemental coloured vignette flash up on your screen. You'll need to head up to the dining hall and start killing zombies until you see a stamp drop. The ones that drop them are the zombies with the helmets on. Interact to pick up the stamp and give it to the lion statue. To do that, go up to this statue in the gameplay and it will offer up the lion's bastard sword. Once you've picked it up, you'll notice glowing parasites start to spawn. Pull out your newly obtained lion's bastard sword, which is in your dedicated melee slot, and by killing one of the parasites you'll get the glowing effect on your sword. With this effect, head over to this door in the upper village and you'll see a lion knocker on it, hit it with your sword, and you'll see that the glowing effect disappears and a symbol is added to the door. Do this 4 times until you have all 4 symbols on the door and interact with it to enter this room. Head down into the tunnel and in the center you'll be able to insert your sword into this pedestal. You'll then have a 1-minute timer and you'll see a bunch of symbols light up on the pedestal. You'll also notice that it starts to spit out several of these symbols, and depending on which symbol is lit up on the pedestal, you'll need to look around the room, find it and shoot it. You'll need to repeat this with all 4 symbols, and once you've done so, you'll be able to retrieve the soul ace from the pedestal. The next is the Durendal or the lightning/storm sword. You'll need to obtain a fresh stamp and give it to the storm statue in the dining hall. You'll now need to collect 3 different lightning rods from around the map. The first is just here next to Deadshot. The second will require you to have dead wire on one of your weapons, and you'll need to shoot this electric box just next to Speed Cola. To shoot it, you'll see the electricity go up the cable and the lightning rod will pop off the top. It'll drop down, pick that up, and then finally head down to Quick Revive in the basement and kill zombies in that area, and then another lightning rod should drop. It's worth mentioning that if you haven't yet picked up the bastard sword, then this lightning rod will not drop. Once you have all 3, come to the right side of the courtyard just on top of the walls, and you'll need to place the 3 lightning rods into this little pot, and you'll notice a storm of sorts forming around it. Stand inside of the storm and survive the round, and you'll notice a lightning charge effect applied to your sword. When that happens, head over to the urn and smack it. You'll notice the charge come off your sword and go onto one of the lightning rods in the pot. You'll need to repeat this 2 more times to charge all 3 rods, and then all 3 rods will start to charge the sword, and after a few seconds you'll be able to pick it up. Next sword we're going to do is the Caliburn sword or the fire sword. You'll need to get another stamp by killing them zombies and give it to the dragon statue in the dining hall. The statue will offer up the sword, grab it and head to this dragon statue that's in the Juggernog room. You'll need to interact with the dragon statue to insert the sword, and above it you'll see a map with 3 lights, and each of these lights correlate to 3 different bowls. You'll need to head to the bowl, you'll see it's on fire, interact with it to pick up the dragon's fire and run all the way back to the dragon statue and interact with it. While you hold the dragon's fire, it will damage you, so make sure you're not near any zombies, and you also can't teleport, otherwise it will drop it. Once you're back at the dragon statue, interact with it and go to the next 2. The 3 locations for the bowls, the first is outside the castle entrance just to the left, the next one's across from the Deadshot daiquiri room, and the last one is in the spawn room. You'll need to take the dragon's fire from the pots back to the statue for all 3, and once you've done that, the dragon will spit fire all over the sword and you'll be able to pick up the Caliburn. Last but not least is the Balmung or the Shadow Sword. Get yourself another fresh stamp and give it to this statue, grab the bastard sword and head just next door, and you'll need to pick up one of 6 items. It randomizes per game, but this can be horns, antlers, raven skulls, rockfish, rock scorpion, or a jaw. You'll know when you've picked up the item as it will pop up in the top right corner saying you've obtained a quest item. And keep in mind what it is you pick up, as this will decide the code we put in now. Now at the time of recording, the exact code hasn't been figured out, but once it is, I'll post it in a short following on. So at the minute, this is a little bit of a guessing game, but a good way I've found of doing it and how I did it here in the gameplay is to put the Pisces symbol on the bottom and spin the inside ring with all the green elements on round until it works. And you'll know when it works as it kicks you out and starts throwing purple orbs your way. And you'll also notice a small portal or hole pop up in the ground. And at this point I would recommend thinning out the round, as we need to guide these orbs into the portals, and if the orbs do hit you they can damage you. But you need to guide about 2 or 3 of these orbs into the portal and then follow this little purple light as it goes through the tavern. That'll direct you to the next portal and then get another 2 or 3 orbs in there, so on and so forth. You'll have to fill about 3 portals up, head back to the dial and interact again. The sword will go into the ground in another portal and pop back up with your upgraded sword.